Hey there, health enthusiasts. Today we're diving into the world of ulcers. No, not the kind you get from your annoying coworker's bad jokes, though those can feel pretty real sometimes. We're talking about those pesky sores that pop up in your stomach or intestines. Picture this. Your stomach lining is like a delicate layer of frosting on a cake. An ulcer is like someone took a tiny bite out of it, leaving a raw, painful spot. Ouch, right? Ulcers aren't pretty, and they're definitely not fun. They can cause a whole lot of discomfort and disrupt your life in more ways than one. But don't worry, we're here to break down everything you need to know about these uninvited guests in your gut. Believe it or not, ulcers are more common than you might think. Millions of people around the world experience them. It's like a secret society nobody wants to be a part of. But hey, knowledge is power, right? You might be surprised to learn that even our ancient ancestors knew about ulcers. They had all sorts of interesting and sometimes strange theories about what caused them. We've come a long way since then, but ulcers are still a relevant health concern today. So why are ulcers so prevalent? Well, there are a bunch of reasons, from lifestyle choices to certain medical conditions. But don't worry, we're about to unravel the mystery of what causes these pesky sores. Okay, so ulcers are common, but why should you care? Simply put, because your health matters. Understanding ulcers can help you take charge of your well-being and make informed decisions about your lifestyle. Think of it this way: your body is like a high-performance sports car. You wouldn't ignore a strange noise coming from the engine, would you? Similarly, paying attention to your gut health is crucial for your overall well-being. By learning about the causes, symptoms, treatments, and prevention methods for ulcers, you're essentially giving yourself a crash course in Gut Health 101. And trust me, your stomach will thank you for it. Let's play detective and unmask the culprits behind those pesky ulcers. First up, we have the usual suspects' lifestyle choices. You know, those everyday habits that can sometimes lead to trouble. Think of it like this. Your stomach is like a grumpy neighbor who hates loud noises, spicy food, and late-night parties. Keep bombarding it with these things, and it's bound to complain. Smoking, excessive alcohol consumption, and a diet overloaded with spicy, fatty, or acidic foods are like giving your stomach a one-way ticket to Ulcer City. These habits can irritate the stomach lining, making it more vulnerable to those painful sores. We all know stress is a real pain, both literally and figuratively. But did you know that stress can actually contribute to ulcers? Yep, you read that right. Remember that grumpy neighbor we talked about? Well, stress is like constantly blasting loud music next door. It throws your stomach into a frenzy, increasing acid production and weakening its defenses. So next time you're feeling overwhelmed, try some stress-busting techniques like deep breathing, meditation, or yoga. Your stomach and your sanity will thank you for it. Now, it's not always about lifestyle choices. Sometimes, ulcers can be caused by underlying medical conditions, those sneaky troublemakers lurking beneath the surface. One of the most common culprits is a bacterium called Helicobacter pylori, or H. pylori for short. This tiny bugger infects the stomach lining, causing inflammation and increasing the risk of ulcers. Other medical conditions, like certain medications, looking at aspirin and ibuprofen, Zollinger-Ellison syndrome, and Crohn's disease, can also contribute to ulcer formation. Don't worry, we'll delve into these conditions in more detail later. For now, just know that ulcers can sometimes be a sign of something more serious going on. Imagine your stomach as a mischievous gremlin living in your gut. Most of the time, it's pretty chill, happily digesting your food without a peep. But when an ulcer rears its ugly head, that gremlin starts acting up, sending out distress signals left and right. The problem is, these signals can be subtle at first, like a whisper in the wind. You might experience a bit of discomfort here, a little indigestion there, nothing too alarming. But ignoring these early warning signs is like ignoring a flashing check engine light in your car. It could lead to bigger problems down the road. So how can you tell if your gut gremlin is trying to tell you something's wrong? Well, it's time to brush up on those ulcer alarm bells. Section 2. Beyond the burn, unmasking ulcer symptoms. The most common ulcer symptom is a burning pain in your stomach. Think of it like heartburn's evil twin. It feels similar, but it's more intense and tends to stick around longer. This pain can come and go, lasting for a few minutes or even hours. But here's the thing about ulcers. They're sneaky little devils. They don't always play by the rules, and their symptoms can be as unpredictable as a chameleon changing colors. Some people experience pain right after eating, while others feel it on an empty stomach, and it doesn't stop there. Ulcers can also cause nausea, vomiting, bloating, and a feeling of fullness even after a small meal. In some cases, they can even lead to more serious complications like bleeding or perforation, which is a hole in the stomach or intestinal lining. Section 3. Ulcer or heartburn, playing stomach detective. Now I know what you're thinking, but Dr. Oz, how can I tell if it's an ulcer or just a bad case of heartburn? That's where your inner stomach detective comes in. Heartburn, also known as acid reflux, is like a mischievous sprite that likes to sneak up your esophagus, leaving a trail of burning in its wake. It's usually triggered by certain foods, stress, or lying down too soon after eating. Ulcers, on the other hand, are more like a persistent gremlin that sets up camp in your stomach lining, causing more consistent and intense pain. While heartburn can often be managed with over-the-counter antacids, ulcers usually require a more targeted approach. So if you're experiencing persistent stomach pain, especially if it's accompanied by other symptoms like nausea, vomiting, or weight loss, don't just brush it off as heartburn. It's time to put on your detective hat, schedule an appointment with your doctor, and get to the bottom of those gut gremlin shenanigans. Section 1. Taming the gremlin ulcer treatments and remedies. So, we've unmasked the culprits behind ulcers and learned to recognize their distress signals. Now let's talk about how to tame that mischievous gut gremlin and get your stomach back to its happy digesting self. The good news is, there are plenty of effective treatments for ulcers, ranging from powerful medications to soothing home remedies. It's like having a toolbox full of ulcer-busting gadgets. The best treatment for you will depend on the underlying cause of your ulcer. If it's caused by H. pylori, your doctor will likely prescribe a combination of antibiotics to knock out those pesky bacteria. They might also recommend acid-reducing medications like proton pump inhibitors or PPIs or H2 blockers to give your stomach lining a chance to heal. From ancient wisdom to modern marvels, let's explore ulcer remedies. While medical treatments are essential for tackling ulcers, there are also some home remedies that can provide soothing relief and support your healing process. It's like giving your gut gremlin a spa day. For centuries, people have turned to natural remedies like licorice root, slippery elm, and cabbage juice to soothe their stomachs. Licorice root, for example, is thought to work by increasing the production of mucus in the stomach, creating a protective barrier against acid. And guess what? Studies suggest it might actually work. Another popular remedy is Manuka honey, a type of honey from New Zealand that's known for its antibacterial properties. Some people believe it can help fight H. pylori infection, but more research is needed to confirm this. Prevention is key, outsmarting ulcers before they strike. Remember that old saying, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure? Well, it holds true for ulcers too. By making some simple lifestyle changes, you can significantly reduce your risk of developing these pesky sores. Think of it this way. You wouldn't leave your front door unlocked and a welcome burglar's mat outside, would you? Similarly, you need to fortify your stomach's defenses against those ulcer-causing troublemakers. First things first, ditch those bad habits. Quit smoking, limit alcohol consumption, and spice down your diet, unless your stomach can handle the heat. And don't even think about popping those NSAIDs like candy. If you need pain relief, talk to your doctor about safer alternatives. Stress management is another crucial piece of the puzzle. Remember, a stressed out stomach is an ulcer's best friend. Incorporate relaxation techniques like deep breathing, meditation, or yoga into your daily routine. Your gut and your mind will thank you. Food as medicine, nourishing your way to a happy. You are what you eat? Well, it's especially true when it comes to your stomach. The foods you choose can either fuel your gut gremlin's antics or create a peaceful haven for digestion. Food and sugary drinks, and you'll end up with a weed-infested mess. But nourish it with whole, unprocessed foods. and you'll cultivate a thriving ecosystem of good bacteria and happy digestion. So, what should you be planting in your gut garden? Load up on fiber-rich fruits, vegetables, and whole grains, sweeping away waste and keeping things moving smoothly. Plus, they're packed with antioxidants and other nutrients that help protect your stomach lining. Section 2. Hygiene habits, keeping those pesky bacteria at bay. Remember H. pylori, that sneaky bacterium we talked about earlier? Well, it turns out this little troublemaker has a weakness: good hygiene. Think of it like this: washing your hands regularly is like building a protective moat around your stomach, keeping those infectious invaders at bay. And it's not just about washing your hands after using the restroom. Make sure to lather up before preparing food, after handling raw meat, and after touching pets. Another important hygiene habit is to be mindful of food and water safety. Avoid eating undercooked meat or seafood, and drink bottled or purified water, especially when traveling to areas with questionable water quality. Remember, a little precaution goes a long way in preventing those unwelcome gut guests. Listen to your gut early detection for the win. We've talked about prevention, but what if you're already experiencing those telltale ulcer symptoms? Don't panic. The key is early detection and prompt treatment. Think of your body as a sophisticated alarm system. Those stomach pains and digestive discomforts are like the alarm bells going off, signaling that something's not quite right. Ignoring these signals is like hitting the snooze button. It might give you temporary relief, but the problem will only get worse over time. So, if you're experiencing persistent stomach pain, especially if it's accompanied by other symptoms like nausea, vomiting, or weight loss, don't hesitate to schedule an appointment with your doctor. Remember, early detection is crucial for successful ulcer treatment and prevention of complications. The last bite, taking charge of your gut health. So there you have it, folks. We've journeyed through the ins and outs of ulcers, from those pesky causes and telltale symptoms to the arsenal of treatments and prevention strategies at your disposal. Remember that grumpy stomach we talked about? Well, armed with this newfound knowledge, you're now equipped to become its best friend. Think of it this way: you wouldn't let a friend suffer in silence, would you? Similarly, paying attention to your gut health is a sign of self-care and respect for your amazing body. By understanding the factors that contribute to ulcers, you can make informed choices that promote a happy, healthy gut. Whether it's ditching those bad habits, embracing stress-reducing techniques, or nourishing your body with gut-friendly foods, every step you take towards a healthier lifestyle is a step towards a happier stomach. You are your stomach's best friend. Remember, knowledge is power, and when it comes to your health, you are your own best advocate. Don't be afraid to ask your doctor questions, explore different treatment options, and experiment with lifestyle changes that work for you. Think of your journey toward a healthier gut as an exciting adventure, not a chore. Embrace the opportunity to try new foods, discover stress-busting activities you love, and become more in tune with your body's signals. And most importantly, remember that you're not alone. Millions of people around the world experience ulcers, and there's a wealth of support available, from healthcare professionals to online communities. Fun fact finale, leaving you with a smile and a healthy gut. Now, as promised, let's end on a lighter note with some fun facts about ulcers. Did you know that in ancient times, ulcers were thought to be caused by an imbalance of bodily fluids called humors? They even believed that personality traits were linked to these humors. Imagine telling someone they have a choleric ulcer because they're easily angered. And here's a fun fact for all you animal lovers out there. Did you know that even animals can get ulcers? It's true. Stress, certain medications, and even spicy food can wreak havoc on their stomachs too. So next time your furry friend seems a little under the weather, don't rule out a case of the gut grumps. Remember, a healthy gut is a happy gut, and a happy gut means a happier you. So go forth, embrace those gut-friendly habits, and keep those ulcers at bay.